Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kadash. The blessings to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shema, this week's topic is going to be entitled The Key to Getting Ahead is Getting Started. All right, the key to getting ahead is getting started. Where did I get that quote from? I was watching one of the investment videos, right? And I did a lesson and I always prioritize the first thing we should be investing in, as the scripture says, is in this truth. But to start investing is, or getting ahead in investing is, you have to get started. And who does this apply to? Well, this applies to the brothers that on the sideline for 5 years, 4 years, watching the videos, but don't want to fulfill James the 2nd chapter, where it says, "Don't be a hearer of the word only, but a doer as well." Okay, and yeah, this sowing. All right, if you wish to grow crop or have a high yield on your grains when you harvest, all right, you have to put in the work. You have to get up early. You have to, make these particular sacrifices, and you have to get started. And the hardest thing, I think, they're both pretty difficult. They're both not difficult, but they're both challenges, right? Consistency and actually initiating. But some people constantly don't initiate. So I would say initiating is a bit more of an obstacle, right? As the scripture says, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So very few wish to initiate and take that leap and take that commitment. Why? Because the sacrifices that come with this truth. And that really stems from a lack of faith, right? Because if you truly believe in this thing, then you have faith that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will be with you no matter what. And to some of you brothers that are having that some sort of guilt, that's good. Godly guilt is good. If you're feeling like, man, this brother is right, I should be cross on the other side, I should be doing video, that's good. That's how you should be feeling, especially if you've been consistently not initiating, right? If you've been consistently on the sidelines, not participating, especially in the times we're in. You look at the lesson that Apostle Paul spoke about going into 2024. 2024 is a big year. Election years are big years. Black Swan events, orchestrated Black Swan events, a lot can happen. Look, at the end of the day, this agenda is the Most High's, and the mark of the beast. To many it might sound like we're a broken record or a broken clock, but a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So eventually this thing is going to come to pass. And honestly, it's like, what are you waiting on? I remember in a takeaway from the lesson that when I was watching Apostle Paul's lesson, I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, was he was like, there's so much things popping off that if brothers say they don't have nothing to talk about, it's a cop-out, which is so true. It's just a cope. And even if you say to yourself, man, I've did so many lessons, I can't quite think of a lesson right now, then revisit one of those so many lessons that you claim to have done. So, and that's this truth. And I talked to the priest Palal about this level of learning, this level of knowledge that come with this truth is asymptotical, right? Meaning, in math, an asymptote is some sort of an equation that never quite crosses the axis, right? It gets pretty close to it, but never crosses it infinitely. So that's this truth. It's like you're constantly, infinitely learning something. Great, your knowledge is increasing, but it'll never pass the line of absolute knowledge. And that's this truth. Prime example, apostles always use them because they've been diligent. They're great case studies, right? They've been doing this thing for decades, and they're still learning. So, and that's what you want to be in this truth. You want to be a constant learner, and you also want to be a constant applier of the things that you learn, because that's applied knowledge is really where the power lies, right? Because a lot of us sometimes we misstep, we screw up, and we make mistakes. And look how long brothers been doing it. We still make mistakes. We can know the scriptures on our fuck ups, but it just shows you the ones that's able to apply what you've learned, okay, apply the knowledge of the scriptures, those are the ones that make less few mistakes. And again, we're never going to be perfect, but the point is this: you have to apply the knowledge that we require. And if you are just sitting on this knowledge, if you will, then you're not applying. You're not applying what you've learned. Another quote I picked up from, listening to these different investors was, I believe, Charlie Munger, that Edomite that passed away. He said the greatest thing a human being can do is teach another new human being something new, something to that effect. So teaching, and that's in the scriptures, man. All right, be apt to teach. It's such a blessing to have this knowledge, to have this treasure, and the primary thing on your mind is, man, I want to give this to a fellow Israelite. You don't want to hoard it. And what's the best way to possibly give this to a fellow Israelite? Joining the camp and contributing, doing your lessons, all right? That way, because when you come into a camp, you hold to a particular standard, all right? If you're sort of independent, a lone wolf, not only, sometimes you don't have the discipline to drive, all right, but there's no one to get on you and reassure you, like, look, no, this has to be done. The scriptures in Ecclesiastes, the 4th chapter, tells us that 2 is better than 1, because if one falls, the other one is there to pick them up. So that's the benefit of being in the camp, and it's a blessed thing to be a part of a camp, man. That's like, sometimes we sort of undermine that in our mind, like, damn, I'm a part of a camp, I'm a part of a brotherhood, I'm a part of a believers, all right, unified, all right, in Yahushua, pursuant to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. And trust me, it's a great feeling when you're able to meet up with like-minded individuals, Amos 3 and 3, all right, and you don't have to worry about no niggery shit going on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you operate in the world, a lot of people have double speak, they have different intentions. They say trust is word made action, right? And a lot of these people in the world, you can't trust them because their actions don't correspond with their word, right? But with the brotherhood, you see that we're sincere in what we do. We try to make our actions correspond with our words, and that's how we trust one another. Now, don't get it wrong, that takes time to build, all right? But it's easily broken. You see, it could be broken like that. So the fact that we're all holding ourselves to that particular standard where we're amongst each other because we know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is watching, that's a great thing to be around. So that's a blessing in itself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the downside in being something a part of that. You know what I'm saying? There's no downside to it, but there's huge downside to just sitting on this knowledge, okay, and not initiating it, right? Remember, the key to getting ahead is to get started. You got a head start. This word is out there, and again, this knowledge pursuant to the book of Amos 8 and 11, all right, us being out and teaching and putting these videos out, it's a finite time on it. It will come to an end whenever Yahweh Bashem Yahushua deems so, because the scriptures speak about a famine of the word, all right? And remember, we need this word to live spiritually. Yahweh told us that man cannot live by bread alone. So this word, all right, you have to fuel your spiritual body, okay? And that's what these words are the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? So get it while you can, all right? And you can even grow more, all right? Because the scriptures tell you that he that sow bountifully shall reap bountifully. When you start sowing this knowledge by teaching it, all right, because that's how you truly understand something, when you're able to teach it. That's when you're going to grow and reap the benefits of growing in this truth, all right? Building up character, building up discipline, all right? Building up the wisdom, all right? Building up knowledge, and then mastering the skill over your flesh to apply that knowledge. Yo, man, that's what this thing is all about, man. So, hey, man, that's what the Spirit just got on me. I thought it was a heavy quote. I wrote it down. I've been writing down all these different quotes and just meditating upon them. And when they, a lot of them, could apply and link with the scriptures. And, when I see an opportunity to build a lesson around that, I'm going to do it. So let's initiate, brothers. Start the car on, start the engine. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakak, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.